Yeah.
I also wanted to ask you a few other questions about lifestyle medicine that we touched on last time we spoke, which is kind of connected to the inner work as well and the building of resources. And you were saying if anyone is interested to come off medication, it's in any case, it's a good idea to almost prepare the soil, to prepare the grounds for it.
Yeah.
And you mentioned 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine. Uh, and I just wonder whether we can sort of shine a bit of light on every pillar so that maybe clients who are watching this or people who are watching this thinking, oh, actually, yes, I think this is where I could strengthen a little bit more, or this is where I could improve a little bit. So what are, maybe we can just name the 6 pillars and then just spend a bit of time on each to
Yeah.
reflect on, to generate some ideas between us.
First one is mindful activities. The second one is about um, your exercise and movement. Then the diet, then what we eat, sleep. So those are the 4 pillars. Then the 5th pillar is abstaining from or reducing use of harmful substances. And finally, the 6th one is connections with our loved ones, social connections. But I would say most importantly, the connection with ourselves.
I love that. Yes. Shall we go back to the first?
Yeah.
Mindful activity. So say a bit what you understand by mindful activity.
Um, I would say that most of the time we are in a doing mode. We are like, oh, I need to do this yoga, or I
Mm,
need to do running, and I need to do this, that, and other well-being
mm,
activities. Do whatever makes sense to you. It could be, spending time in silent prayer or anything that helps you. But the key thing here, in my view, is about the being, who we are being
mm,
when we are doing that
mm,
activity.
mm,
Because, there are times that you might be like going out for walks, but your head is like caught up in lots of thinking. So you are
mm,
doing the walking, but you are not being in the walk. So I would
mm,
say the more we are in the flow, we are being, and we are really like immersing ourselves with that. It doesn't seem like a chore. It's not like I should be doing this, but
mm,
we are just enjoying ourselves.
mm,
That kind of activities are really good, and they are lifestyle based, so you can think of anything that you enjoy doing, and that could also help prepare the soil, so to speak, in order to for you to come off the medication at some
mm,
stage, or to at least reduce the dose of the medication.
mm,
And so I would say it doesn't matter what activity, as long as you are really enjoying it and it feels right for you to engage in
mm,
that.
mm. Ronnie, to just make this a bit more sort of engaging, I wonder whether you and we haven't prepared this, can share a couple of mindful activities that you use and maybe that I use. Because I think we can all be in a very much in a doing kind of mode. How do you help yourself to get out of that into a more being mode? Just to give people examples of mindful activity, which I'm sure there are hundreds of. But
Yeah.
yeah, so what are some of yours, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, it varies. It really varies, Kirsten.
Mm,
But what I notice is that I slow down. I
mm,
It could be like
mm,
being with my partner, or playing with my dogs, or
mm,
writing a reflective piece in my journal.
mm,
Whatever
mm,
it is, it's like when I slow down, then I really realize that like I'm feeling more present in the moment. So that's what I mean
mm,
by mindful
mm,
activity.
mm,
It
mm.
really vary depending on what mood I am on. I mean, what about you?
Slowing down is a really important one, and I have maybe various ways of doing that, which is one, I love guided meditations. Yes, I do almost 1 20-minute one every day at various points. So, for example, when I've had a full working day and I know I spend some time with my daughter and I feel a bit irritable, I know I need to do a guided meditation to kind of not bring that to the relationship with my daughter, let's say, or other family members. So I do slowing down, just a short guided meditations to help me slow down, in a way.
Hmm.
And another one might be dog walks. kind of focusing not so much on the dog walk, but let's say on the sun, on the skin, let's say, or the wind on the face, to focus on what nature does and how it touches me. I mean, they're just some very minor examples, but that allows me to slow down, even if I'm stressed or even if I have lots of things to do. But to actually shift my focus to, oh, let's just feel the sun on my face, or let's look at the clouds, or things like that.
Yeah, we both have dogs,
Yes.
so we know the love for
Yes,
of
yes,
taking
yes,
them for a
yes.
walk and enjoying this. Yeah,
Yeah, being in nature I love very much. That does something, like that helps to slow down.
yeah.
Often, not always, but yeah. So these are examples of mindful activities. And the second one, is it right that you said movement and exercise?
Exercise and
Should I be?
movement.
Yes.
Yeah, and all of these six pillars, they have, they are based on a huge evidence-based building up. This is why it's called lifestyle medicine.
Mm, yes.
GPs and healthcare professionals are like they are there's a lot of studying going on, and they are
Mm, mm,
practitioners, and they are prescribing lifestyle medicine because of the evidence base. And
mm,
we know the benefit of exercise. We know that there has been studies after studies saying us about the benefits of exercise. And some people might say, well, I don't have time to go to the gym, I don't have time to go for walks, or I do
mm,
only 15 minutes. But I can't because I have a full hectic day. But we can all move. We can
mm,
all move. We can, like we know that, sometimes we are constantly in front of the computer, and it's a
mm,
sedentary
mm, mm,
sitting down. We can get up, we can do stretching, and the
mm,
more movements and or steps we can put in our day-to-day life, even if we can't go to the gym, even if like it's pouring down with rain outside, we could still increase our steps. There
mm,
are opportunities to increase the steps, and this is a really healthy way of living.
yes, yes. That's such an important part of life.
Yeah. And it can be fun,
And
Christine. When you say movement, for some people it could be dance.
mm,
For some
mm,
people it could
mm,
be yoga, but it just uplifts us. I think people can test it out for themselves.
mm,
Sitting or lying down, or
mm,
for some time we just get like our energy gets drained and we just feel low. But if we start moving around, or we dance, or we just change the posture, we just
mm,
feel different. Yeah.
mm,
So,
mm,
test it out for ourselves, and it's about incorporating this in our day-to-day activities as well.
mm, mm. Can I ask you again, what are your sort of ways of moving, sort of on a daily basis? Or I imagine you're walking the dogs. You've got two dogs,
Walking the
haven't you?
dogs, playing chase with the dog, in the
Yes,
garden kind of thing. That's an
yes.
easy one. I have a standing desk. Now I'm sitting down, but I also like sometimes I just put the desk up, and then when I work, I'm standing, and then I put on a bit of music, and I'm just moving my body,
Uh-huh.
kind of
That's
thing.
cool. Yes,
What about you?
yes. Um, yes, dog walking, playing with the dog, tickling my daughter. I think she's now a bit older, but she often comes. I think, "Mommy, can you tickle me?" Yeah, and that's a nice way of movement as well, and generating some joy and fun and feistiness. Like that's
Yeah,
really nice.
oxytocin.
Yes, yes, yes. And I'm a great. I mean, I've been doing yoga for many years, so I do probably 3, 4 yoga classes a week.
Mm,
And not so, yeah, last year I started learning tennis. I really enjoy tennis lessons. I'm not very good, but I'm getting good, and that in itself like brings some enjoyment and some a sense of this is fun. Outside, it's outside. So yes, so that's me.
Amazing.
Right. What about the third? You mentioned sleep. Sleep is an important one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned diet before that, but I can go on to sleep.
Diet. Yes. So let's do diet and sleep. Yeah,
Yeah.
in whatever order you like.
Yeah. And I'll just keep it simple. When I
Yeah.
say diet, it's not about going on a diet. It's like, what do we eat on a day-to-day basis?
Mm,
Like,
mm,
if we eat sugar, we all know, or if we eat any
mm,
like
mm,
highly
mm,
processed foods, sugar, we know that our mood will go up and down, for sure. And so the simplest advice that anyone can give is like to have a healthy meal. And you don't have to be a go vegan, or you need to do this like diets, but it needs to be predominantly plant-based diet, meaning
Right.
eat more fruits and vegetables.
Mm,
And so obviously some people might be eating protein in the form of meat. Some people might be having carbohydrates in the form of like rice, or whatever your staple diet is. But the more we include um, plant-based diet, like fruits and vegetables on a plate predominantly, the more we cut down on refined sugar, any kind of sugary drinks and sugar, and also highly processed food, we are doing our the gut bacteria a lot of good service. And we'll have we have less the chances of us having also like having side effects problems, or problems with withdrawal can become less if we
mm,
are
mm,
maintaining diet. A lot of my patients, Kirsten, who are planning to come off medication, or within withdrawing from medication, they have told me again like how important keeping the diet clean has been for them,
mm,
so that they don't experience side effects, or they don't experience withdrawal effects. So
mm,
that
mm.
something I wanted to emphasize.
Yeah, that's important. It makes sense holistically. Exercise, diet. Do you want to say a few words about sleep?
Yeah.
The importance of
So
sleep? Yes.
I would say sleep is the foundation of all
Mm,
of this. That's my view, because in mental
mm,
health, I have seen that, when people have a relapse, or the one of the early warning signs is that
mm,
the sleep gets very disturbed.
mm, mm,
And
mm,
we also know that, if someone is on a medication that's sedating, for example, an antipsychotic called quetiapine, most people
mm,
might be,
mm,
aware of that, or if they are trying to come off mirtazapine, which is sedating, and it's going to one of the withdrawal symptoms definitely is like insomnia, and of course all the other medications as well. But what I'm saying is that this is why, even before you think of coming off medication, I would say that look at your sleep. How can you prioritize sleep? Because it's about giving a priority. And if out of the 6 pillars, someone had to prioritize something, for me it is sleep. Because
right.
if someone can really say that this is important for me, I'll make sure I have got, I keep a routine with my sleep, and they stick to that consistently, you'll find that your mood is better, you are able to do mindful activities, you are able
Mm,
to do more exercise and movement, and also your diet gets better, because
mm.
because your sleep is better. So it's really fascinating how they are all interconnected.
Interlinked.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yeah. And we all know when we can't sleep that it has a knock-on effect on everything we do because we feel rotten and we feel grumpy and sleep deprived.
Yeah.
And so that makes total sense.
Yeah.
If we sleep well, we can think more clearly, have more energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe that might be a different conversation, if someone does struggle with sleep and insomnia, what might help
Yeah.
to improve. Yeah, because each of these pillars, I mean, we covered them quite quickly now, but it's kind of complex in itself, isn't it? And there's learning to do about diet, and there's so many different facets to a good diet. And yeah, shall we go to the last couple of pillars?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. I'm
which
conscious
were
of
the
time, so
connection.
yeah.
One one was connection. There was one other one. Oh, substances.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So in terms of like the addictive substances, again, these addictive substances are like something like sugar, you know, uh,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
because we know that it's very addictive.
mm,
If you have something which is sugary, you'll feel hungry even soon, and you'll feel like you need a quick fix. So you're also going for the sugar again, sugar, and also like um, caffeine.
mm,
People who are coming, thinking of the side effects of medication, they can't sleep, or they are trying to come off medication and they need to sleep better. I would say reducing the caffeine intake is a huge priority. I would
mm-hmm,
say to people that if possible, please don't have any caffeine after midday, after noontime.
After midday,
Us
right?
back to sleep.
Mm,
People
mm.
say, "Well, I have decaf." You need to remember that even decaf has
Some
caffeine.
caffeine in.
Yeah,
Yes.
less percentage, but they still have caffeine. So there are so I know that it might sound like overwhelming sometimes, but see if you can make just a small change in each area, just a
Mm,
small
mm,
change,
mm,
and over
mm,
time it will definitely build up. So, and substances like sugar, substances like caffeine, we also know about nicotine, and also like alcohol, all of
mm,
those. Sometimes it might be, we are not asking someone to stop completely, but we are definitely asking people to consider reducing the amount and see how it helps the mental state, how it helps with overall functioning and
mm,
thinking
mm,
of
mm,
improvement in mood overall.
mm, mm. So it's good to try things out and maybe, yeah, start with sugar and then maybe look at caffeine
Yeah,
and alcohol to reduce the intake. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
The final one is social connections, isn't it? Which is actually a really important one in life.
yeah.
Yes.
And we all know this, right? We all know that the people we hang out with really helps or hinders our
Mm,
can
mm,
have an impact on our mood and so on.
mm,
Because some people can be quite negative, and we're not talking about just connecting to everyone. You could be quite
mm,
selective and say like, okay, I will have a few friends, but connection is important for
mm,
me.
mm,
And obviously connecting with loved ones and so on, but the most important connection is the connection with ourselves, because going inwards, what we do is sometimes it's like we are just like looking out and saying, oh, I need to connect with them, or I need to connect with them. That's great, social connection is really useful, but also we need to feel okay with ourselves by being by
mm,
ourselves
mm.
rather than feeling lonely. It's like, how can we also have the me time and go
Yes,
within,
yes,
and just like have a better relationship with me. So I
yes,
would say this is an
yes,
important part of the lifestyle medicine, and how we can that nurture that soil, or make it even more, what can you call it, richer, so that when the time comes for us to reduce the medication, we then see that, okay, all of this is really helping me to
mm,
slowly come off the medication, or not experience so much of turbulence in my mental state.
mm, mm. No, I love what you're saying with the connection with ourselves. I must say it has taken me a lifetime to feel at home in my own being. I think it is a work in progress for all of us. To kind of build a healthy, welcoming, warm, nurturing home within our own minds and bodies in a way. That's almost scope for another whole conversation.
I know, yeah.
And it's also to do with the ability to set healthy boundaries, to be discerning in a way who to spend time with, and it's quite a process, I think, of maturing, and making good decisions for ourselves.
Mm.
How much time?
Choices, yeah.
Yes, yes. Many people I know find it hard to be alone. So it's kind of a journey and process to kind of almost develop a mind in which solitude can be nurturing. That's not a given, it's a journey.
Because when we
Yes.
talk about slowing down, sometimes when we are just with ourselves, we are slowing down. We could slow down, and we
Mm,
also get quiet, because part of the whole piece is about getting our minds to slow down and to get quiet, because we are constantly thinking, overthinking,
mm,
wanting to do things.
mm.
And lifestyle medicine again is all about like a good holistic way of having in balance mind, body, and spirit.
Yes, yes, I love that. Maybe on that piece of wisdom, the mind body connection and the spirit connection, we can just say thank you for the conversation, Rani, and for your time. And thank you for everyone who is watching.